Izard County, to the bank of that swollen creek. A quiet farmhand walked along, humble and meek. He was grounded in the scriptures, held a deep and steady grace, long before he ever had to look the shadow in the face. He was walking back from furlough when a vehicle went down, and the hand of God moved through him as the waters swirled around. With the strength of the Almighty, he dove into the deep, and he saved those 6 souls from a cold and final sleep. Oh, my daddy drove by faith when sight was thin and dim. Through the valleys of the shadow, his Redeemer walked with him. He was just a light truck driver hauling mercy through the mud, covered by the armor and the power of the blood. An Arkansas believer with a soldier's cross to bear. Every mile my daddy traveled, the Lord was riding there. By the autumn he was standing where the trees began to burst, in the hell of Hürtgen Forest, where the artillery did its worst. With the steering wheel in hand and the gospel in his chest, he drove through fire and shrapnel just to give the wounded rest. Then the winter brought the Bulge, and the biting winter rise. When the world was wrapped in darkness, he remembered sacrifice. He drove through deep and frozen nights without a single light, knowing Jesus was his anchor in the middle of the fight. Oh, my daddy drove by faith when sight was thin and dim. Through the valleys of the shadow, his Redeemer walked with him. He was just a light truck driver hauling mercy through the mud, covered by the armor and the power of the blood. An Arkansas believer with a soldier's cross to bear. Every mile my daddy traveled, the Lord was riding there. Through the plains of Colmar Pocket, through the final push ahead, he held fast to the promise that the Savior always said, I will never leave nor fail you, even to the very end. He was more than just a soldier, he was walking with a friend. That blue badge upon his jacket wasn't just for earthly pride. It was proof he walked through fire with the master by his side. When the final guns went quiet and the Rhine was left behind, he brought home the quiet spirit that the world can seldom find. Back to Batesville, close to family, in the safety of the farm. The Lord who led him overseas had kept him from all harm. Now the miles are all behind him, and his truck has found its rest. He is singing with the angels in the mansions of the blessed. But the legacy he left me is as bright as morning sun. A daughter of a servant who has heard the words, well done. Yes, my daddy